Hey everybody, Tim Rosgany here with another wounded and wonderful video. And I want to talk about something that happened yesterday and that made me aware of a pattern in myself. So I'll tell you the story, but let me get to the pattern first. I have something inside me that reacts when something painful happens, something that's disappointing, something that hurts my feelings. I'm aware that I have become so masterful and gifted at denying, dismissing, normalizing, minimizing those things because I don't want to feel the feelings. I don't want to feel the pain and the sadness. So it happens so instantaneously almost. I move into, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I didn't want that anyway. And I use humor sometimes. But I tell myself, I've gotten so good at telling myself that it didn't matter. It's okay. And I think that's because as a child, I experienced so many things in my life. There was so much that was painful, confusing, mistreatment, things I didn't understand, disappointment after disappointment. And the only way I could survive was by shutting down those feelings, not letting myself feel the pain of abandonment and mistreatment and disappointment. And so I have a mantra inside me when things happen like that. Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And I saw that yesterday. I received a text from a fellow traveler, a friend, somebody I've known for a couple years. And this is somebody I've gotten close to and felt, I'd shared so much of myself. And she had done the same, sharing, our experiences and just, becoming friends and having genuine love and affection for one another. Or so it felt. And I noticed also over time that I was the one initiating contact, much more so. And that, that didn't feel good because it felt unbalanced and it felt like it's a pattern I have. That's something inside me. I have this deep need for contact. One of the reasons I make these videos. Duh. But I have a deep need for contact and I'm often the one reaching out. And I'm not saying I don't necessarily love that about myself. I don't necessarily hate that about myself. It is what it is. I understand where that comes from. And I do think at the end of the day, it's a good thing. It's a human need to have contact, to need contact and connection. So what happened was I had sent her, I'd reached out, I don't know, like most recently about a month ago. And I didn't get a reply and I just let it go. I didn't pursue. I just thought, okay, well, we'll just see what happens. So lo and behold, a month goes by and I get a note yesterday thanking me for my friendship and saying something about how it seems our friendship has run its course and wishing me well, which was, that's all nice. And I caught myself, I can't say I was stunned by it because I wasn't, it's kind of what I expected in some ways. And I appreciated the fact that she didn't just ghost me, and that's what she was saying. I don't want to just disappear from your life without, thanking you for your friendship. So, credit to her. But I found myself not letting myself have a feeling response, not letting myself feel the sadness of it, because it is sad. When you care about someone and it doesn't go the way you wanted it to, there's a friendship that, for whatever reason, it dwindles or dissipates. And the potential of what could have been there, to find someone you can be yourself with and share yourself and be authentic with and share your hopes and dreams And, the very definition of a true and authentic friendship, to have the potential for that and to lose it, to see it, disappear. There's sadness there, and there's disappointment. And I didn't let myself feel that at first. I, found myself going into that old pattern of, yeah, okay, no surprise, whatever. Um, and there's, that's not okay. I mean, that's not, it's a way to deal, but it's a way to deal by not acknowledging one's feelings. So I let myself start to feel that. And what I ended up feeling, yes, there's sadness, there's some loss, there's some mourning of what could have been, whatever. But there was, awareness of the love and affection that was very much real, and that was still there, because even if someone says, let's not connect anymore, if I let someone in my heart, they're in my heart. I can't just flip a switch and turn that off. So, I let myself have that initial response, and then I let myself feel the feelings, and I felt some wonderful feelings, and I felt some peace with that whole thing, that whole situation. And I sent her a response today and basically said, there's a place for you in my heart, and that's never going to change, and I wish you well. And, so, what's my point? My point is, I think my experience isn't unique. I think my experience is kind of typical. And I think there's many of us, maybe you included, who have found a way to avoid experiencing painful things by, having some sort of mechanism in place that diminishes, minimizes, normalizes, sticks it in a box, puts it on a shelf, whatever. And there's a quote I came across a couple weeks ago. I want to read it because it really resonated for me, and I thought it was just brilliant. So here it is. Wanting things to be otherwise is the very essence of suffering. We almost never directly experience what pain is because our reaction to it is so immediate that most of what we call pain is actually our experience of resistance to that phenomenon. And that's attributed to Stephen Levine. So I love that. And it struck me profoundly because it's felt very true that, that desire to just avoid pain because, well, who wants it? Who in their right mind would want to feel that sort of thing? Well, but that is, the truth of it is, there is pain in life. And there's pain in, friendships that dwindle or, things that don't go the way you want, deeply wanting things that you won't have. And to just write it off and say, yep, didn't care, I don't care, it doesn't matter, I didn't want that anyway. That's a disservice we do to ourselves. So I believe that there is healing and authenticity and honesty in allowing ourselves to feel what's real about something and not giving into those knee-jerk defense mechanisms where we write stuff off. So my invitation to you is to think about that for yourself perhaps and see if when something happens that you find painful, that hurts your feelings, that's disappointing, things don't go the way you want, whatever, do you let yourself feel the emotions that come with that? Do you let yourself feel the feelings? Or do you just find a way to stick it in a box and carry on, soldier on? And, I know sometimes that's what you have to do. Sometimes we have to soldier on. When I was a little kid, I didn't have the luxury of being able to sit with my feelings. I couldn't. They were too overwhelming. I had to find a way to make it through the day and not just get caught up and lost in that. So the best thing I could do was shut those feelings off and tell myself things like, it doesn't matter, I don't really care. And even though that's not the truth of it, so that pattern, I see it happening and playing out today. But I'm committed to not letting that be the only way I deal with things. I can see it when it happens. And I ended up I was able to feel my feelings yesterday about that situation, and I was able to respond in a way that was kind and loving and honest, authentic. Above all, it was real and authentic. So I hope that resonates for you. I hope that you can find ways to let yourself feel the feelings and not do as the author of that quote suggested, that not just immediately move into resistance and avoidance, because I do believe that that's the only way to heal. That may sound a little trite, but I think there's great truth in that. We have to let ourselves feel the sadness, disappointment, and pain that comes, and then we can move through it. So that is my wish for you, and thank you for listening. You'll see a link to my most recent video showing up any second, as well as a link to subscribe to my channel here. Feel free to do that. In the description to this video, you'll find some information about a recovery meeting that happens every Monday night on Zoom. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. And as always, thank you so much. I wish you well. Please be gentle with yourself. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care.